Hey, so this is Jim Cardona from Cardona Pinball. Haven't posted a video in probably a month. A lot of people, I've got a couple people emailing me and say, hey, what's going on? You fell off the earth. I've been working on my game room in my new location. Just recently moved to Delaware, so I figured I'd make a video about a couple pointers if you're going to be doing such a thing. This room's not done yet, but it's probably 60–80% done. I'd made one previous video about the new space with some recommendations about using rock wool in the ceilings to prevent the game noise going up. So that's the first one, obviously. A couple other ones. So again, some of these spaces are not done yet, but one of the things. So this is the electrical closet that's in the bedroom. So one of the things I did is that I put all of the games on their own breakers. So I put them at the bottom so it'd be easy to separate. Nobody would mix it up with the rest of the house. So when I throw these through breakers, it turns on all the machines simultaneously. So now you see all my games around. Now I've seen people do this same thing with a set of switches on the wall. And that's a good solution as well, because then you don't have to go into the breaker panel. If you are going to do it on the switches on the wall, there were two recommendations I would give you. Is the first one is make sure you use 20 amp switches, because they do sell 15 amp, but you want to use obviously the 15 amp are cheaper, so a lot of people grab those first, but pay the extra money for the 20 amp if you're going to be powering up all your machines and you're going to be powering up outlets. Usually 15 amp are for lights, and usually the 20 amp is for some more like a load. The other thing I would recommend is, if you're going to do with switches, is to put some type of protector. They have these shields that you can put over the switch so that they don't accidentally get turned on and off, which would be unfortunate if somebody was playing a game and having a great score. But also, if the switch gets toggled back and forth, I don't think that would be too good for the game. Okay. The other thing, so like this particular space, I don't have all my games. I got 10 games down here. I'm still missing 4 more my machines. And when I first built this place, the plan was to have and this is me, right? I'm obsessive, so I was going to say, well, I could fit 18 games in. I could probably fit 24 games in there if I wanted to, because I was looking at this other back wall here. Said, okay, I could put a whole row of games there, whole row of games across the back, and yeah, I was going to be stuffed in here. But then, you got to keep the family happy, and I think a game room, it's not just about how many machines you have, it's a communal space. So we decided that, like in this area here, over here, we're going to put a big screen TV there. So I'm not going to have games going all the way across. And we're going to put a couch here, maybe some other piece of furniture. We added these chairs here. We added this bar area, which again is not done yet. Refrigerator. So that back row, this was going to be another row of games. So I'm going to fit 12 to 14. I have 14 now. I might have to sell 1 or 2. Another thing I did was I put a doorway under. This whole area right here is a stairwell that comes down. So I added a door underneath that, so there's a storage location behind the bar. Let me open that real quick. This area is not finished yet, but one thing is if you're going to have to, by the code, if you're going to have to protect what they call protect the stairs, right? So the ceiling has to be finished. You can't just have a doorway to and under the stairs which doesn't have walls. So you actually have to frame. You can't attach drywall to the stairs. You have to protect the stairs. So you have to frame out underneath the stairs. Okay. One other thing I would suggest is and this hasn't been painted yet, but these are access panels that I have up here. So what we did was we drywalled the entire ceiling. We put the rock wool, then we drywalled the entire ceiling. But almost all of my cable runs are right here in this area, and then I have another chase on the other side of this. And my duct is in there, my plumbing is in there. So there's some clean outs up there that you want to get access to. So kind of like the way I did this wainscoting on this column. That's what that wood is framed out, so that once we paint it, it's gonna look like it's wainscoted. It's gonna have the bright white finish, and it's gonna match the bottom of this column. And actually, this column, I'm probably not that happy with it. I'm probably gonna wainscot the entire column, put some crown molding on top. And so that's, you know, not only do I do code for pinball machines, I do pinball kits, do all kind of crazy stuff. I do all this. I'm doing this all myself. I did the flooring. I did the whole thing. So yeah, but for the access panels, I'd recommend doing something like that, because you don't want to have to tear into the ceiling later, and try and do as many of your electrical and your plumbing runs all on the same chase, so that when you do need to access it, if you do, you don't have to tear into the ceiling too much. I did add one other access panel that's right here, which this one, I didn't recess yet. This is, you see there's an access panel right there. That's that's just temporary. I'm gonna recess that into the ceiling, but I have my sprinkler system there's a valve right under there, so I wanted to have access to that. Okay, one last thing I wanted to say was that when you do your lights, I used to be an electrician, and before I became an electrical engineer, before I did pinball stuff, so my electrical, I'm kind of over the top. But one of the things I did was I put these controllable, well, two things I'll explain. One of the things is the controllable switches, so that you can dim the lights, right? Because depending on what type of, if you're having a get together at a party, some people are going to complain about the glare on the glass. The other thing was I split all the lights into 4 switches here. So, you know, this one's just over the bar. So if I wanted to just turn on the bar lights, those would be bright. And like I could even just turn everything off. You know, so now I only have the bar lights on, and I could even dim those. You know, so you want to have a lot of options as far as your lighting, I guess is what I'm saying. These switches aren't too bad. I think they're about 20 bucks each. And this this final switch, the 5th switch here, which you see it doesn't turn anything on, that's for the effects lights. So when I turn that switch on, and again, this room is not done yet, but I go back to this closet that's behind the bar, that switch that I turned on in the other room actually turns on this outlet. And the idea is that I would have a bunch of LED controllers here that I could mount and then run into the ceiling. So for example, you've probably seen, I wanted the option, right? Because you've probably seen a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll have a game room and it'll feel like it's an arcade, which you'll have red and blue lights chasing all over the ceiling and stuff. And I like that idea. My wife doesn't. So I pre-wired it for the option. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. She wanted something that more looked like a house, which is, you know, and the wife usually wins. So that's kind of why you see everything is painted gray. But I wanted that option, and you know, so I could still do that later down the road. So if you're building your game room, you're finishing this is a basement. So if you're finishing your basement, it's a great place to have your games. Like I said, keeping the noise out of going to the rest of the house, and a lot of these other options that I did. And you know, if you have other ideas, post them down below. And from now, and again, as far as me not posting that many videos, you know, now that I'm almost done with this, I'll be back at it.